Like a perfectly timed jump, reboots can be risky. On one hand, you run the risk of alienating longtime fans of the original franchise by changing it too much, only to appeal to a larger audience. However, if you don't change the game enough, you're left with the same crowd who enjoyed the previous games, but also criticized it for the lack of innovation. Luckily, Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix stick the landing in Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider focuses on a young Lara, one who isn't experienced in raiding tombs, collecting relics, and wielding weapons to save her life. Though adventurous, it's apparent that Lara has never really ventured out on her own before. It's her inexperience that makes the entire game feel so genuine. First off, Lara isn't stuck on the island of Yamatai by herself. The entire crew of the Endurance is split apart, and aside from staying alive, Lara's mission is to bring everyone back together and get off the island safe and sound. The exchanges between Lara and the crew, specifically Roth, her mentor, are all completely heartfelt.
I had to kill some of them. I had no choice.
That can't have been easy.
It's scary just how easy it was.
Seeing Roth for the first time after the initial separation will make you feel like you just reunited with a friend you haven't seen in years.
Looks worse than it is.
The game masterfully depicts the events surrounding Lara's time on the island through gorgeous cutscenes and some spot-on voice work from Camilla Luddington. She does an incredible job as the new Lara. To call this the most cinematic Tomb Raider would certainly be an understatement. The true showstopper in Tomb Raider is undeniably the environment design. The island of Yamatai is alive with swaying trees and scurrying animals, from the various caverns and tombs you'll be raiding to the incredible outdoor set pieces that absolutely beg to be traversed. The set pieces themselves are absolutely incredible. Crumbling bridges, collapsing buildings, and rusted ships that fall apart all result in some fantastic platforming. Also, when you... Oh, God! Gets me every time. One gripe, however, is that the platforming was too easy. Unless you made a miscalculated jump, the game generally ensures you always make your jumps and never lose your balance. This could be slightly off-putting, especially given the fact that it somewhat lessens the impact of survival. It's still a spectacle, however, making the hand-holding a little more forgiving. Gunplay is by far the lowest point in the game, unless you're strictly using the bow. Throughout the game, Lara gets access to other weapons, such as a pistol, rifle, and shotgun. All of these certainly pack a punch, but for some reason don't feel right. What is she looking at? Lara's bow really brings the survival element to the forefront and makes each shootout that much more exciting. If you dedicated enough time to it, you'll be getting killer headshots in no time. Surviving in the wild means you have to be resourceful. Salvaging parts plays a crucial role in upgrading Lara's equipment. Each weapon has numerous upgrades like increased damage, quicker reload times, increased zoom, and a faster fire rate, and require a certain amount of salvage per upgrade. Weapon parts can also be found scattered throughout, which will turn each weapon into a completely new, upgraded model, also with more essential upgrades. Lara also gets her own upgrades in the form of skill trees. The game rewards you XP for almost everything you do, whether it's discovering a new area, killing enemies, or finding relics and other collectibles. Each level nets Lara a skill point you can put into one of 3 trees. Some of these skills allow you to carry more ammo, find more salvage, dodge, and counterattack. While specializing in a tree might sound like a good idea, you're eventually going to have enough points to spec yourself with everything. Lara has a special instinct skill, which works very similar to Hitman Absolution's skill. By pressing a button, the environment will go black and white. Points of interest will light up in yellow, while enemies will light up in red or white. The skill is especially handy in puzzle sequences. The game doesn't throw extremely tough to figure out puzzles at you, but you can find yourself scratching your head more than a few times. The instinct skill will highlight usable items in the environment, allowing you to solve them with much less frustration. Lastly, the game includes multiplayer, if you care for that sort of thing. Tomb Raider could have gone without it and received the same exact score, meaning it does absolutely nothing to the overall enjoyment of the game. The standout modes are Rescue and Cry for Help, which are just slight variations of Capture the Flag. Kill people online, get XP, gain levels, get access to new loadouts and new characters, and that's Tomb Raider's multiplayer in a nutshell. Uncharted certainly doesn't need a multiplayer, and neither does Tomb Raider. After all the cuts and bruises and the enemies killed in self-defense, this wasn't the same Lara. This was a Lara who wasn't afraid anymore. one who would continue the pursuit of adventure and answers, no matter the risks. This brilliantly designed adventure had me captivated from start to finish, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for this Lara Croft. She gets a steady 9.0. Be sure to visit GameZone.com for the full review and all the latest in gaming news. Thanks for watching.